Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Big Pants Underground. I'm your host, John. Today, we're not going to be talking about anything movie or entertainment related. We're actually going to be talking about D.O.G.E, the Department of Government Efficiency, or D.O.G.E, and the insane things that they have found that our money has been financing, our tax money. Now, up until a few days ago, I had never even heard of USAID, and I'm not sure if anyone else had either. This has not been discussed by anyone, or it was created in the 60s. That's how long it's been around. It's been around for 50 some years, 60 years, and I'm just now hearing about it. And the reason that I'm hearing about it is because Elon Musk and his team has gone in and just started gutting this place. Now, the Democrats are upset, to say the least. They are hugely upset, but we can't figure out why. No one can really figure out why, because the things that Elon Musk and his team are discovering it's shocking. And I cannot find a list. I have looked for a good list to show all the crazy things that they have discovered from this USAID scandal. And this is a huge scandal. If this had been reversed and the Democrats had discovered all this wasteful spending that the Republicans had been doing, this would be all over the news. But the only thing that the news agencies are reporting on is the fact that the Democrats are pissed about it. And the fact that they're pissed about it should raise a red flag. Now, this list that I'm showing you here, this is from 3 days ago, okay? This is from the 4th. Today is now the 7th. I'm trying to find a decent list, but here's from this article, $50 million to fund condoms in Gaza. Well, it wasn't just condoms, it was birth control, but still, $50 million for birth control in Gaza. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces. Serbia. $70,000 for the production of a DEI musical in Ireland, because I'm sure that Ireland is just, dying for a DEI musical. $47,000 on a transgender opera in Colombia. $32,000 for a transgender comic in Peru. $37 million to the World Health Organization. Now that would be a good payment, but you got to think about the fact that we're the only country that's putting money into this, which is why we're backing out of it. None of the other countries are paying their share. Okay. $16 million in funding for institutional contractors in Gender Development Office. What does that mean? What is an institutional contractor? What is a Gender Development Office is? What is that? Why? How are they developing gender? There's only 2 genders. We don't need to develop anymore. But $16 million? $16 million? How many of these were there? How many institutional gender development office contractors were there for $16 million? $4 million of funding for the Center for Climate Positive Development. What is that? The Democrats they let California dry out and California burned up. $12 million in support services to the Bureau for Resilience, Environment, and Food Security. I don't know what that does. I would hope that it is protecting our food supply. I would hope that's what that does. $6 million in non-emergency funding for redundant administrative supports for the Center of Excellence. Redundant means that they already have administrative reports. So they're paying $6 million for an extra set of administrative supports for the Center of Excellence, which I have no idea what the Center of Excellence even is. $3 million in non-emergency funding to provide evaluation services for planning and learning programs. Okay. I can get behind, planning and learning programs. The government should be, giving money to organizations that teach people things, but teach people things that are worthwhile, not teaching people how to not misgender someone. $600,000 to fund technical assistance for family planning in Latin America. Okay. Family planning in Latin America. Abortions for the Latin Americans, $600,000. That's just this list. And like I said, this is from 3 days ago. I cannot find a decent list. They've made more discoveries. They've made many more discoveries, like this one here, Sesame Street. They were giving money to Iraq to put on a Sesame Street program. Because that's what we need to do. We need to fund Sesame Street in Iraq. $20 million. Now, this isn't a list. This is just some of the things on here that they show. Let's see if we can look for, increased poppy production in Afghanistan. U.S. aid was found to have provided millions of dollars to farmers in Afghanistan in an effort to get them to grow food crops instead of poppy. But they just went ahead and grew the poppy because they can sell it for heroin and make more money. I mean, anybody could have, we trust you not to use this money for opium. Yeah, okay, give it to us. You can trust us. And then sending tax dollars to Wuhan. I mean, it's coming to light now that the Wuhan lab where COVID, we all know now that COVID was released from that lab due to a fuck up. We paid for that. We paid for that lab, okay? And also sending Ukrainians to Paris Fashion Week, making sure that Ukrainians who are at war and should have other things to worry about, we need to pay to send them to Paris Fashion Week. They need to go. They really got to go. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, grow crops instead of opium. That didn't work. Paid farmers to build or rehab miles of irrigation canals in the Helmand province in Afghanistan. $2 million to fund Moroccan pottery classes. Moroccan pottery. Morocco has for thousands of years created pottery dating back to 6000 BC. I don't think we need to teach them. I think they already know how to do it. To create and design pottery to sell to domestic, and not even to sell to themselves, to send to other countries. Oh my gosh. An American pottery instructor was hired to teach local artists, however, was unable to communicate with them as the translator for the program was not fluent in English. $2 million they paid to this and the guy couldn't even teach them anything. So where'd that $2 million go? Guys, they're not actually giving this money to these programs. You have to understand. They're not giving $2 million to Morocco to teach them how to make pottery. This is money laundering, plain and simple. They created a bunch of programs through this USAID agency, funded it with our money, taxpayer money, and gave it to themselves. Basically, they said they sent it to do all these weird things, but they actually didn't. They sent it back to themselves. This is how the Democrats, and maybe some Republicans, I'm not saying that there might not be some Republicans in on this, but this is money laundering, plain and simple. The worst thing, and it's not on this list, okay? Here's another one. The agency spent $2 million promoting tourism to Lebanon, a nation that State Department warns against traveling to due to crime, terrorism, civil unrest, kidnapping, unexploded landmines, and risk of armed conflict. But they spent $2 million promoting tourism to go there. Oh, man. This is Lebanon. I'm sorry. Somebody just got home, so my dogs are going to bark. This is Lebanon. This is Beirut. This is where that giant explosion took place a few years ago on the docks and destroyed the docks. And they haven't rebuilt any of this stuff. Maybe they rebuilt some of it, but they haven't rebuilt much of it. It's just still destroyed. And the government is corrupt, completely corrupt. Trade assistance to Ukraine, pay for models and designers to take trips to New York City, London Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, South by Southwest in Austin. They paid Ukrainians to go there. I mean, oh man, I want one of them. That thing's neat looking. I wonder if that's real. That's pretty cool. So that's, and this is, and are Democrats upset? Are they even mentioning any of this spending? No, they're not. You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to break into the Department of Education. Democrats try to enter Department of Education amid outrage over possible D.O.G.E cuts. They're not even talking about the things that have already been discovered. This is fact. Okay, these things are fact. Our money was going to fund these programs, and we're not done. This is only 3 days in, for God's sakes. Okay, but instead of being upset that our money was being laundered and sent to these insane things, these insane programs, and being sent back to the Democrats or whoever, they're upset that they're not being allowed to enter the Department of Education in order to stop all this. Okay, Maxine Waters. This is Maxine Waters. She's a senator from California, or maybe a representative from California, whatever the hell she is. She's a piece of crap is what she is. She has no business being in government. All she cares about is herself and racism and race baiting and intersectional politics. That's all she cares about. Her, George Soros, and among others, AOC. These people are not complaining about the fact that our money was being wasted. They're complaining about the fact that Elon Musk is discovering it. That's what they're complaining about. My question is, who in the hell was approving? Someone has to have been at the top. Yeah, like they say, the buck stops here. There had to be a place where the buck stopped. Who was approving all of these expenditures? Who was approving it? Who said, okay, somebody walked into this person's office, whoever it was, and said, I want to send $2 million to Morocco to teach them how to make pots. Somebody had to say, yes, let's do that. I want to send $20 million to Iraq to produce a Sesame Street show. Someone had to say yes. Who said yes? Was it Biden? I don't know. Did Biden even know that this was going on? I don't know. Someone had to be at the top. Someone had to approve all of this. And if we can figure out who approved it, who came up with these committees or these expenditures, who came up with this stuff and who approved it, those people should be sent to prison. This is a money laundering scheme, plain and simple. And even if it wasn't, they should still be punished for sending our hard-earned money. We've been struggling. People have struggled through COVID, through the housing crash back in 2008, and everything else along the way. People have struggled. North Carolina was in shambles for months after that hurricane. Months. New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. It took forever to fix that stuff down there, and some things never got fixed. With the $20 million to fund Sesame Street, that $20 million could have built a lot of houses and replaced all the houses that those people lost. Not all of them, but some of them, a lot of them. And people, they didn't just lose their house. When you lose your house, you lose your base of operations. You know, a lot of them maybe couldn't go to work. Maybe they got hurt. Maybe their family got hurt. And people in North Carolina and Georgia and South Carolina and Florida that got hit by these hurricanes, they haven't gotten any help. And we can see why now they haven't gotten any help, because they were sending the money to these bullshit programs and basically laundering it for themselves, making themselves rich. Some poor guy, some poor federal employee was being made to block the door and not allowing that in. And they were just harassing the shit out of this poor guy. He was just doing his job. They're like, they said, we're public officials. Our tax dollars fund this department. We should be allowed in. Well, my tax dollars pay the president's salary. So that means I can just walk into the Oval Office. Hey, Donald, how you doing, man? I pay your salary. Let's sit down and talk. No, you just can't walk into any agency at any time. Come on. I don't know if they have to know in the back of their minds that they're ignorant. They have to know. What's Elizabeth Warren is another one. The Pocahontas. She's another one that's been pushing back and pushing against this and pushing against Elon Musk and a bunch of teenagers. They're not teenagers. One of them was 19, but he's an adult. And he's 18. He's over 18. He's an adult. He can serve in the armed forces. So what's wrong with him doing what he's doing? Okay. Maybe seeing it from a young mind that's not been corrupted by the woke mind virus. Maybe a young mind can do it better than an older person that might have a little bit more compassion. Okay. Compassion has to go out the window. You can't be compassionate when it comes to cutting this stuff, because if you're compassionate, then you just might as well let it continue. And this has to happen. We're struggling. America is so behind as far as infrastructure goes. I mean, you can get from one end of the island of Japan to the other, which is about the size of California, maybe something like that. You can do it in a couple of hours with the high-speed train network over there. You can get anywhere in that country quickly. Why don't we have that here? We're America. We're the United States. We're the ones that invented a lot of stuff. Okay, this world wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for us. But we've been spending money on stuff that doesn't matter, and instead of spending it on ourselves. Take this. I'm not trying to say that I want free money, but you take all this money that they've already discovered, $1 billion, almost $1 billion. Take that $1 billion and split it up between everyone, all of the citizens, all of the legal citizens of the United States. Split that $1 billion up and give them all a check. I don't know what's the population of the United States? Around a billion people. So yeah, we'll all get something. We'll all get $1,000 or something like that. I suck at math, so don't ask me to do math. Well, $1 billion split $1 billion, we'd all get $1, I guess. I guess that's how that would work. But $1 billion split 1 billion ways, we'd all get $1. I guess that doesn't make sense. But I think there's less than 1 billion people in the United States. I don't know, man. It's been a long morning. I just got home from work and I'm decided to make this video and I'm rambling on. But I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on this. And the Democrats, all they're saying is, are you happy? Is this what you voted for? Now, are you happy? Yeah, we are. We are happy. He's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Exactly what he said he was going to do. And also, I haven't even mentioned the fact that a lot of the money from this USAID agency was going to the journalists, or the news companies. Politico got $8 million. New York Times got money. Someone else, some other, the AP and the BBC, for God's sake, the British Broadcasting Company was paid a subsidy from the United States to report favorably on the Democrats. Okay, that was the money going to the news agencies is blatant election manipulation. They were paying the news agencies to report unfavorably against Donald Trump. They were paying the news agencies to do that. And I wonder what's going to happen now that that's going to end. They're putting that to an end. So I'm wondering how this is going to affect these news agencies. Will they start bad mouthing the Democrats now? Will they fall in line with what America clearly wants done? They want transparency. They want their money. They want to know where their money's going. But so far, the agencies, all they're reporting on is the bad, Elon Musk is taking over the government. We didn't elect him, but he's not allowing people into these places and blah, blah, blah. He's doing his job. This Trump said he was going to give him the job, and he did. He's doing the job. What the hell are you complaining about? Doing exactly what he said. That's all I got today, guys. It's been a long one. I hope you tune in. I hope you watch. And if you watch this far, thank you for sticking around to the end. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.